Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to A Better World with Adrienne. I am excited to be sharing a mini episode today because I feel inspired to speak into something that's been coming up a lot in the collective, something that's been coming up for a lot of my clients, something that's been coming up for me. At the time of this recording, it's the end of February 2026. However, this is timeless because this is an energetic that, first of all, most people don't understand, and second of all, is required of you in terms of energetic mastery, in terms of spiritual mastery, in terms of honestly physical health, because energy determines your physical health. Like dis-ease literally means there is dis-ease in the body. There is lack of ease in the body. That means energy isn't flowing in the body. That's what all dis-ease is, all infection, all cancer, all literally there's spiritual and physical roots to all of it. And I go deep with you. If you become my client, we go deep in that together in your journey. Um, what I am really feeling is, and this is something that I want to talk about from my personal experience and then just what I'm seeing in the collective. Um, Ever since this episode is called The Edges of Being Human. And I want to call it the electric edges of being human because they zap ya and they zap you in such a way that you are jolted alive into the truth of what it really means to embody this experience fully. And it is joy and grief. And so when I was a kid, and something you might do is go back to the version of yourself, like when you were a kid, before all of that weird shit happened that made you start questioning, stop believing, doubting, like before all of that shit happened, the version of you, the part of you that still knows deep in your soul, like literally the limit does not exist, that part is, first of all, should be on your cap table. Like that should be the CEO of your whole fucking life. And what I feel and experience in my own personal journey, like I was always someone who I was told by adults my whole life. First of all, I was told I was an old soul. And also, my parents very wisely knew that if they didn't channel my energy into something positive, I would first self-destruct or destruct others. Like, I ran out of the womb. Like, I've always been a force. That's who I am. And I was also told all the time, you're so sensitive. You're way too sensitive. You're so sensitive. You're so emotional. You have big feelings, blah, blah, blah. And something that people don't understand about happiness and about joy and vibrancy and delight, which is, I'm stewarding Colorize. It's a group New Earth Elite activation, and it's inspired with this frequency of joy about no more doom scrolling, no more having a dull, dim, contorted, conformed life. Like really activating. I don't care if you feel like you're winning right now or if you feel like you're losing right now, like activating you into a higher level of presence, a higher level of vibrancy, like taking your life and turning it all the way up to highlighter color, right? That level of vibrancy. You do not get that level of vibrancy and joy without knowing the opposite extreme. And I would argue that grief is vibrant as well. It's very extreme, it's very electric. And so when I was a little kid, like I remember sobbing for like 3 days when I realized, oh my God, one day I'm going to go to college and I'm not going to see my parents. And I like grieved that. And I was very affected by things. I think a lot of it has to do with, just my shamanism and past life stuff. Like I would remember watching movies when I was a little kid, and they like certain movies would deeply disturb me. And I remember one specific movie, I don't know what it was. I understand now I was having a flash to a past life memory. Um, but I like left. I couldn't be in the room with the movie, and I felt like violated, and I was like shaking and crying in my room. Um, the thing about joy, you will never experience joy if you don't experience pain and grief. Everybody wants the highlight reel of life. Everybody wants the top. Nobody wants the bottom. What most people do is they numb out, they numb the pain. Pain is a package, pain is a portal. We learn through pain. Pain is here to cleanse us. Pain is here to expose our negativity and help us grow. It's a spiritual process. It's also a very physical process, right? It's a healing process. What most people do is they numb themselves. The common ways I see people numb: drugs, alcohol, scrolling, food, toxic relationship, literally anything to avoid being alone with yourself, anything you do to plug into instant gratification and avoid discomfort, you are numbing. It's an addiction. Okay. And I say that as a previous addict. It's probably one of my most annoying traits as a mentor. And it's also one of my best traits as a mentor because I see through bullshit. You cannot lie to someone who used to lie to themselves every single day, all day for 10 years. By the way, we all lie to ourselves in some way. That's why mentorship matters so much. Getting a mirror up in front of you, like, hey, here's your blind spots. And people who want to be average, they don't want to know. People who want to be great want to be coached, right? People who are elite want the beeline breakthrough. I want it now, and I want it in multiple ways, and I want feedback to grow and heal and up level and grow and build the skills, right? And if you are on the elite frequency and that is something you're committed to in this lifetime, that's how you know you and I are meant to work together. You're meant for this movement. Most people numb out so they don't feel pain. What happens when you do that is you numb your ability to experience joy. You can't, you cannot compartmentalize numbing. If you numb pain, you numb your ability to feel joy. And so a lot of people, this is something that I receive from, I guess, the masses, you might say, is like, oh, she's so toxic positive. She bypasses. By the way, breath work works so fast. People think, me and my clients, they think we bypass because it works so fucking fast and it goes to the root cause. If you've never experienced breath work with me, literally, what are you doing? Like every single challenge in your life can be 80% solved through breath work. I will die on that hill. So, link in the show notes. Work with me one-on-one. Color Eyes starts March 9th. I have a vault of classes. You could literally start literally today, right now. Um, so my question to you is, are you numbing out your ability to experience joy? And I'm talking about the joy of your inner child where you run up to an edge of a cliff because you just want to see what's over there. And oh my God, you could fall off. You could definitely fall off, but who cares? Because you're going to die with no regret, right? You get one life. Stop being so careful with it. And by the way, you are way stronger than you give yourself credit for. You can go through pain, you can go through trauma. Like humans are designed to go through challenge. Like, do you want to know what the key to happiness actually is? It's progress through meaningful challenge. That's the key to happiness. If you are depressed, it's probably because you're not challenging yourself. This happens with a lot of my extremely successful clients. No one knows you're going through the motions because you're already ahead of everyone. You're way more successful than everyone else. And meanwhile, you're like, yeah, I'm going through the motions. I'm not even trying. Yeah, but and God source creator knows. And you're squandering your life. You're numbing your life. this is a really important message, and it's about holding both. You will never, ever, ever experience wild, relentless, audacious, radical joy and presence if you also do not let yourself feel deep grief, deep pain, deep sadness. And it's not about ruminating in negative emotions. It's about being a motherfucking alchemist. It's about being a motherfucking Jedi. And I say it in that way because it's like, you're designed for this. You were born for this. This whole numbing disassociation thing with the phones and blah, blah, blah. It's going to get even more extreme with AI. Let me tell you, with AI, if you are able to single task and not be distracted and not have your nervous system hijacked through your phone, you will automatically be ahead of 99.99999% of people. It has never been more easy to win. It's also never been harder to not be distracted. All of this, you will never touch or experience the voltage, the electric edges of being human if you numb. If you numb any part of life, you're numbing all parts of life. And then you just live mediocre, average, blah. And your life turns from being living in color to being in black and white and gray. And it's sad and boring and you die with regret. Like, this is the perspective I want you to have from this episode. And there's a lot going on at the time of this recording, and I'm experiencing this in myself. There are days like the amount of joy and magic and just like honestly unhinged joy. I like look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, girl, this is another level. Like being just like Godsmack happy for no fucking reason at all, except the fact that I'm alive, which is an amazing reason. And then, like, 3 hours later, feeling like a big wash of like grief. And it has a lot to do with what's going on in the world, but it's like you've got to do both. And it's a lot, and you can handle a lot. The question is, do you have a space that can hold you in this? Do you have tools? Do you have a mentor? Do you know how the astrology is hitting you? Do you understand, let alone live high performance? All of this and more you master with me in this work inside New Earth Elite, which is the training ground for mavericks, founders, visionaries, leaders on divine assignment, anchoring new realities on our planet. Like, if this is you and you really resonate with this message, there are two ways you can work with me right now. Colorize. We are focusing on this frequency. We are focusing on joy beyond circumstance. Like literally, you prioritizing joy, especially when the world is in chaos, is not only your superpower, but it's really deeply important. And there's a lot of shame out there about, oh, how dare you be that happy when this, when that, as if your happiness takes away from somebody else's ability to be happy. That is a matrix program designed to keep you scared so you don't create your dreams. And so we don't create a better world. Got to interrupt that. It's an 8-week activation of relentless high frequency joy. And we are also going to be exploring grief because we cannot explore joy without grief. You literally cannot because they're both the edges of what it means to be really human. So there are limited spots for this. It starts March 9th. I'm literally so excited. And I got this program through my crown chakra at the Aquarius eclipse, and I was like, it's go time, baby. Let's go. I haven't done a group experience like this. Honestly, I've never done one exactly like this. All of them are unique. However, I haven't done one like this, I think probably in at least 2 years, 2 or 3 years. So, um, it's absolutely fabulous. You should do it if you feel called. And I have one space open for one-on-one Lux mentorship. This is elite high proximity. It's full commitment only. All my spaces are full commitment only. However, like This is like we ride together for 6 months one on one. I always highly recommend a year because committing to something for a whole year, like you will be unrecognizable in the most extreme, epic way. If you are interested in one-on-one looks, go to the link in the show notes and apply. Finally, I'm enrolling spots for my Greece retreat in June. That is a beautiful way to choose joy. And by the way, if you do colorize or one-on-one looks, you get special rates and access to Greece Atlantis retreat. So, all of that is available for you. The link is in the show notes. I could not be more excited about life right now, and it really is you've got to first of all understand this and then decide to live this of like, are you going to live a life of being numb and dissociated and half-assing? Or are you going to choose a fully vibrant highlighter color life of joy, which also means experiencing the true voltage of pain? It's all high frequency. It's all extreme frequency. Successful people are extreme because it's all in or all out energy. So the question for you, I'll leave you with, are you all in or all out on life? Because the way you're experiencing these emotions and your energy on a day-to-day basis tells me that answer. It tells you that answer. So if you want to accelerate and expand and grow in this way of living and creating and building your dreams and actualizing your potential and making a positive ripple on the planet in this most important time, get in my world, get in this work. Let's make magic. Colorize, one-on-one lux, Greece Atlantis retreat. The links to everything are in the show notes. Go take action. There's limited spaces for all of it. All of my stuff is high proximity and extremely limited in 2026. So if this is you, make your move. I can't wait to receive your application. By the way, Colorize is not application. You can just join, which is really rare for my spaces. Usually it's application only. Um, yeah, make your move. I'll see you inside. Go out there, be the change, be the light, be the real you. Make a stranger smile. Share this podcast with someone you love. And I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrian.